Hello friends, I am Ritu Grover, entrepreneur, speaker and author of my upcoming business book, Thank God It's Monday. It is said that tough times bring out the best in people and within relationships. The ongoing COVID-19 situation is one of them, which is affecting businesses, families and communities. All across the world, the governments have ordered a lockdown and all of us are forced to work from home. As easy as it may sound, working from home has its own distractions, and distractions are at every nook and corner. Especially if you have small kids. You see, our parents, our kids, people around the home are not used to seeing us at home, and we need to patiently tell them, we need to communicate with them, we need to have a communication with them and tell them that now that we are at home, we need to work and we should not be taken for granted, and we have to communicate very clearly to them what are our switch on times and switch off times. I've been working from home now for the past 3 weeks, and in fact it did take me 1 week to get used to it, and initially I was sort of uncomfortable. For the last 2 weeks I'm actually loving it, and the productivity freak that I am, I'm actually surprised at my productivity levels doubling up. So today I'm going to tell you my top 8 tips to get the maximum out of working from home. And let's get started from tip number 8. Tip number 8. Follow a morning routine. Everything has a set routine and it's on automatic mode. But now that we are working from home, we tend to be lazy. We do not get up on time. There's no alarm that we set up. We don't get ready for work before we actually sit for work. We are not taking a shower. We feel so free. We are not bound by any routine. But remember, if the start of the day is slow, we'll be busy the entire day without achieving any results. So get up, set up that alarm, get up on time, take that shower, change into semi-formals. In fact, change into anything from your nightwear, and you'll be ready to rock the day. Let's get on to tip number 7. Tip number 7 is secure your corner. Don't just sit anywhere. Don't just sit on the dining table. Don't just sit on the sofa. Find that little corner anywhere in the house that you can, anywhere in the apartment that you can, where you can set up a small desk and a comfortable chair. Now, if you have a spare room in the house, you're lucky. But if you don't have a spare room, just find that small corner in your bedroom, tuck in that little desk and the comfortable chair, and to make it look more comfortable, more aesthetic, just put up a small plant or a small art piece, and that will make everything look more aesthetic and more comfortable. Also, remember to keep your office bag with all your stationery supplies, with all your files, papers, folders, very handy in the bag itself. So wherever you're sitting, just carry that bag with you, and you don't have to keep getting up to get that pencil or a paper, and you are more productive from that corner. And that corner is going to be your productivity corner. Let's get on to tip number 6. So the tip number 6 is avoid disturbances. Now when you're at home, disturbances are plenty. When you're working from home, you're normally doing things, you're normally surrounded by things that you actually should be doing in your free time. Your co-workers, your boss is not around you to hold you accountable, and you're free to do what you want. But what I request you is be more mindful, be more proactive, and realize that if that TV is on or if the music system is on and it's disturbing or it's hampering your productivity, switch it off. How many times are you checking your WhatsApp? How many times have you checked your Instagram? Have you posted on Instagram? How many times have you gone to the kitchen, to the refrigerator to look for what you can munch on? These are all distractions that will keep you from finishing your tasks of the day and making you less productive. Let's move on to tip number 5. So tip number 5 is do not work when you should not. Now, working from home could be very, very dangerous, especially if you do not draw a line of when you need to switch on and when you need to switch off. And that could be very, very dangerous for yourself and your family too. Once you're done for the day, don't be tempted to look back into your computer, for those emails from your boss or messages on your WhatsApp or SMS from your co-workers. That temptation has to be stopped. Discipline has to be maintained. We have to be aware of what we are physically doing and not just procrastinating, sitting in front of the computer and not achieving any results. So set your boundaries very, very carefully. Let's move on to tip number 4. Do things that move the needle. Time is precious and working remotely has a flip side. So the trick is to work on things that really matter. Since we are not amongst our co-workers, since we are not being accountable by our boss, and since we are not accountable by the hour, it's easy to get swayed and actually not do enough during the day. On the other hand, it's possible that you end up doing 8 hours of work in 6 hours and you have those 2 extra hours to yourself. And it's totally up to you how you manage the day. You just need to understand that whatever you do should take you a step forward and not just be there the whole day. Now, if you are your own boss, you need to make a to-do list. And I know from my experience that I have a whole lot of things on my plate. So what I do every morning is I make a to-do list. And I make the list according to what I must do, what I have to do, and what I should do. And I concentrate on all the jobs that will actually make my business go forward and move that needle for me. Honestly speaking, the things that always take you forward are always the most uncomfortable, but they need to be done. So remember, do things that will take you forward every day. And that gets us to tip number 3. And tip number 3 is eat healthy and eat twice a day. Now, when we are at office, we have birthdays and we have celebrations and we have tea breaks and lunch breaks and we have all those junk food and we have valid excuses for all that. Now we are working from home. Now you're working from home, and if you keep snacking the whole day, it's not going to be healthy for you. So what you need to do is decide for yourself what you eat, when you eat healthy, and remember, have loads of water. And that's going to be making you more productive. That moves us to our tip number 2. And the tip number 2 is take mini breaks. Every now and then, get up from your table, get up from your desk, and go to the kitchen to get that glass of water. Every 1 hour, drink 1 glass of water. Get up and go get it. When you get a call or when you are on a conference call, and if you don't need any data from your computer, just get up, take that phone, go for a walk, go to the balcony, sit in the balcony and talk, go to some other room and talk, but just get up from that table, just get up from that desk, go out and talk. And believe me, it'll do wonders. Now I know sometimes it can be very difficult to get up from that desk because you're meeting a deadline and you're running short of time. But believe me, if you take that 10-minute break, you are going to come back to your desk and end up being more productive. You're going to end up making a better presentation. So get up and take that break. And that brings us to our tip number 1. And this is the most important tip that we need to take care of. And what's the tip? The tip is connect with people face to face. Now, if you're living in a family or you're living with your spouse and kids or your roommate, you're lucky. But if you're staying alone, working from home, working remotely can have its own dangerous side. Just a little while back, you were in office. You were chit-chatting with your friends over lunch and tea breaks. You were discussing cricket, football, you were discussing politics, you were discussing trips, holiday vacations. And now suddenly, you're working from home. You're lonely. You're working remotely and there's nobody around you. We as human beings, we are social beings. We thrive on connections. We need people around us. So how do we do this? How do we connect to people face to face? Yes, we have internet. We have technology stuff like FaceTime. We have Zoom. And we need to connect with somebody out there face to face. So make that call, connect on voice call, connect on a video call, talk to people, make a list of 2 to 3 people you will see on FaceTime or Zoom on a daily basis. Communication is of utmost importance, and just seeing somebody face to face will keep us going. So, friends, these were my top 8 tips of improving your productivity working from home, of overcoming any challenge while working from home. If you like this video, share it with a friend whom you think could benefit from this. Like it, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what other videos you're looking for. See you soon.